CHAMPS is brought to you by Lawrence Technological University, where possible is everything. The Varsity Shop Training Center, Oakland County's premier sports training and instructional facility. The Suburban Collection, make the choice. And Metro PCS, wireless for all. From inside the Kennedy Ice Arena in the great city of Trenton, Michigan, one of the best high school hockey rivalries in the state is renewed. For the first time this winter, our Suburban Collection main event takes place on the ice as 10-time state champ Detroit Catholic Central takes on 13-time state champ Trenton. Hey everyone, welcome to State Champs. My name is Lauren Plant. Of course, football was in the discussions this week. National Signing Day was Wednesday. Looks like a lot of our top tier 1 talent going to be headed off to Michigan. So we've decided to break up our signing day segment into 2 parts. One for the Maize and Blue and one for, well, the other guys that we talked to. Of course, the Detroit News' Tom Markowski will be along to break it all down. But also, of course, we have highlights, and that's where we begin.
Sending a statement to these guys. Hey, yeah, you got all these talent from all across the city. We homegrown. Right now, own 3 buildings.
We begin with boys hoops. First place battle in the Charter School Conference. Harper Woods Chandler Park Academy on the road against the Aztec Eagles of Detroit Cesar Chavez Academy. Chandler Park in their visitors' blues, coming in with a record of 9-4, but gunning for their 6th straight win. First quarter, the senior Denolius Burks putting on the brakes and using his creativity. Eagles led 18-16 after the first. State champs debut for Cesar Chavez. Ian Auberry with the overhead missile to Isaac Bowles. He converts. Aztec Eagles trailed 35-26 at the half. So CPA with their directives, work and earn it. Third quarter, good Aztec Eagle defense. Ball around the horn to Robert Andrews, one of his 2 triples on the night. But Cesar Chavez would tighten the gap right before the end of the third. The turnover. Duvon Brazil leads Kevin Logan for the lay-in. He had 12 on the night. Ranked the 2nd best point guard in the state by ESPN, Michigan commit junior Derek Walton Jr. grabbing one of his 11 boards and the putback. Eagles up 48-44 into the 4th. The Eagles in blue would pull away. Watch Walton work. The move, the drive, the harm. Get this, he finished with a quad triple-double, 34 points, 11 boards, 10 assists, and 10 steals. How about we cross those T's and dot those I's? Mr. Andrews to finish the night. 16 of his 21 came in the second half. Chandler Park wins it 80-56. They take sole possession of first place in the Charter School Conference. We now go to boys hockey. KLAA Central Division matchup between 2 of Division I's finest. The 7th-ranked Novi Wildcats at home facing off against 3rd-ranked Brighton. Novi trying to avenge a December 5-3 loss to the Bulldogs. Curtis Herzog's shot is rejected. Dylan Shepard's rebound stoned by Jimmy Miletics. Now Novi's junior netminder Patrick Carney making his first start of the season. If he was nervous, couldn't tell. Keith Karanen's shot from the point stopped. Tommy Cavisto with the rebound attempt, gloved after 2 periods of play, scoreless game. Let's move to about 2:30 left to go in the contest. Cats doing a good job of cycling the puck. Wes Gunther rips one off. Travis Traynor is there to send home the rebound. That was your only goal of the game. Novi shuts out Brighton 1-0, 5th straight win for the Wildcats. The high school highlights are presented by Metro PCS.
Wireless for all!
Time now to take a look at the latest from Lawrence Technological University.
With their first season in the NAIA in the books, the Lady Blue Devils volleyball squad is looking to build on the lessons they learned in their first go-round against varsity competition. But they know they'll need a little help to achieve their ultimate goal, and Coach Larry Y continues to put together a squad rich in potential. With that said, let's meet the 2 latest additions. First up is Casey Clark, who joins Lawrence Tech as a transfer from Oakland Community College, where she was part of a squad that last year was ranked number 2 in the nation. Getting to make the transition alongside some of her former OCC teammates should make for a special year. But for Clark, it was her time with Coach Wyatt that really sold her on jumping on board with the Blue Devils.
He's very outgoing, and I mean, he was funny. I don't know, I didn't really know what to expect because I've never met him before, and but I heard he was like very intense, but in a good way, not like mean or anything. But I came here on a visit and got a tour of the school and ate lunch with him and stuff, and it was fun. I mean, he kept it easy going, didn't pressure me or anything, so that was good. But yeah, I'm excited to get to know him a little better.
The other newcomer to the Lady Blue Devils is Brittany Moncrief, who will be transferring from Oakland University. After spending all of last season on the sidelines due to a wrist injury suffered while playing at Northwood, Moncrief, who will be studying pre-med, says the time off really reaffirmed her love for the game, and she realizes what a great chance this is for her to get back on the court.
Being out for a year or a season, being in an arm cast, you don't realize how much you miss the game. Like once you're out and you're like, wow, I can't come back to this. You feel like you can't, and you're like, all right, well, I might as well just coach. But then I got this opportunity to come here, so it's like, you know, the doors have been opened for me again. So it's like a really good opportunity.
We'll keep you up to date as Coach Wyatt continues to build his team. But from the look of things, the Lady Blue Devils could be in for quite a season come next fall. If you'd like to learn more about LTU volleyball or any of the other LTU sports, visit BlueDevilAthletics.com. I'm David Faze from Lawrence Tech for State Champs. Experience everything Lawrence Technological University has to offer at ltu.edu. Lawrence Tech. Possible is everything.
We are just warming up here on the original high school sports show. When we come back, the first half of our signing day special report. Stick and stay. This is State Champs.
Hey State Champs fans, our Suburban Collection Dealership of the Week is Suburban Ford of Sterling Heights. I'm Marissa Zilli, and with me today is Sales Manager Jim Elder. So many great Ford vehicles on the market right now. What deals do you have to offer?
Actually, our best deal right now is on a 2012 Ford Fusion with leather seats, power sunroof for $0 down, $196 per month.
Thanks, Jim. Please visit Suburban Ford of Sterling Heights on Van Dyke Avenue and tell them State Champs sent you.
The movement has begun for thousands of people. A new way of thinking. A liberation. Freedom from contracts and fine print. Freedom to move through life to their own beat. To stay connected without having to disconnect from their money. That's why everybody's moving to Metro.
Welcome back to State Champs. Well, it's a big week in the world of high school football. Our top local prospects making it official where they're going to play their college ball. Every year there are some surprises. This year was no exception. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, it seems like a lot of our local superstars have decided Michigan is the right fit. So that's coming up later in the show. Right now, we catch up with our other prime timers who this week put pen to paper. Let's begin our swing through signing day 2012 in Farmington Hills. Throughout his career with the Harrison Hawks, Jake Vento impressed. 2-year All-Stater, as a junior wideout, 900 yards and 16 TDs. Asked to fill his brother Tommy's shoes at QB last fall, over 1,700 yards through the air and on the ground, 24 touchdowns. Jake will now go back to receiver at Grand Valley. Harrison went 24-1 the last 2 years. Over the past decade, Grand Valley, 4 national championships.
Feels nice that kind of moving on from a tradition-rich high school like this to move on to a college is the same. It'll be good.
A receiver who has college star written all over him, Aaron Burbridge. 6'2", 185 pounds. His middle name should be Playmaker. This season, 32 catches for 735 yards and 6 touchdowns. A lot of schools wanted him, but Michigan State got him. We go to Detroit Catholic Central. The now former 6'5", 230-pound Shamrock tight end Matt Doneth headed to Cornell. Despite an extremely rush-oriented offense, last fall, Doneth caught 17 balls for 204 yards, 7 touchdowns. The Ivy League it shall be. Let's go to Southfield for another tight end, 6'4", 235-pound Ron Thompson. A solid talent. Ron has only played organized football for 2 years. In 2011, 57 receptions for 729 yards and 9 touchdowns. Thompson had a few Big Ten offers to consider, but decided one of the newest members to the ACC, Syracuse, is the fit.
I don't really care about the conference, you know. I just look at like what the coaches have to offer, you know, because sometimes it's bigger than football, you know. Sometimes like they help me be more of a man.
Thompson's teammate Leviticus Payne will take his talents to Cincinnati. 5'9", 176 pounds, recruited to play defensive back. Mark my words, his skills could have Leviticus bringing the pain as a returner on special teams. Go Cats go! Off to Birmingham to catch up with Devin Church of Brother Rice. We all became disciples in the postseason when this Dream Teamer gained 900 yards in 5 playoff games. 250 yards and 3 touchdowns in the title tilt. Originally slated for Northern Illinois, Toledo had recruited Devin hard too. So when the Rockets coach went to the University of Illinois, good relationship already, Big Ten, that's a fit. Coach Fracassa helped Devin keep it in perspective.
He always kept in my ear, stay humble, stay humble. And that's what I did throughout this whole process, stay humble. And I really thought about my choices I made, and at the end of the day, I'm choosing University of Illinois.
On Tuesday, look who we ran into, Mr. Football finalist, Lansing Catholic QB Cooper Rush. What a season for Rush. 4,000 yards passing and 48 touchdowns. He also ran for nearly 800 yards with 13 touchdowns. This Gatorade Player of the Year will be a Chippewa in Central Michigan.
I thought it was a good fit offensively for me, and I like the campus, I like the school, and I thought it was a good place for me.
How about in the PSL? Crockett's quarterback Brian Blackburn had a stellar season, nearly 2,000 yards passing with 20 TDs, nearly 500 yards on the ground with 10 touchdowns. He'll do well in the MAC at Toledo. 2 state champions from Cass Tech, who perhaps didn't get as much pub as some of their teammates, will also be playing at the next level. Brandon Berry to Buffalo and Ruben Lyle will line up for Iowa. We knew Lyle as a 6'3", 195-pound receiver, but he may end up at safety for the Hawkeyes. A track star too. If he grows to 6'4", wide out is where I see him.
I'm very excited, especially to be playing alongside with my brother, Laurent Taylor, and competing against everybody that's going to the Big Ten and everywhere else.
Brandon Berry gonna be a Bison, and he will be on defense. A converted linebacker, 6 foot and 205, Brandon always on the attack. King's Brandon Tinsley will stay close to home to be a part of the great things happening at Wayne State. 6'1", 190 pounds, Tinsley was a great asset for King catching the rock. He'll do the same for the Warriors. Best of luck to every athlete who will now get a chance to live the dream. The University of Michigan made a big splash in snatching up several of the area's blue chips. Meet some of the most notables next on State Champs.
The movement has begun for thousands of people. A new way of thinking. A liberation. Freedom from contracts and fine print. Freedom to move through life to their own beat. To stay connected without having to disconnect from their money. That's why everybody's moving to Metro.
Looking for all the latest high school hoops and football recruiting news? Join the conversation and tune in to the new State Champs High School Basketball and Recruiting Show every Friday night from 9 to 11 p.m. on 11:30 a.m. WDFN. The Detroit News' Tom Markowski and yours truly, Lauren Plant, will bring you up-to-date scores and stories, including player and coach interviews. Presented by Lawrence Tech University, it's the State Champs High School Basketball and Recruiting Show, Friday nights from 9 to 11 p.m. on WDFN, The Fan. Welcome back to State Champs. Well, if you've paid attention over the past couple of years as to What university was grabbing the bulk of our local superstars here in Southeast Michigan, at least on the football field? I think you'd say it was Michigan State. I mean, Blue Chippers Will Golston, Chris Norman, Ed Davis, Tawan Jones, Andrew Maxwell, Nick Hill, just to name a few. But since Brady Hoke has taken the reins at Michigan, it seems like that tide, at least this year, has turned. Kyle Bogenschutz has the signing day story of our local crop of soon-to-be Wolverines.
The class of 2012 in the state of Michigan is as loaded as you'll ever see. Division I talent is sprinkled everywhere you look, and the Michigan Wolverines coaching staff made it a point to get as many of these hometown recruits as they possibly could. It wouldn't be signing day without a big surprise, and that came in the form of 5'7" Dennis Norfleet, an electrifying running back out of Detroit King. Starring on the football field the past 3 seasons, Norfleet had been a longtime Cincinnati Bearcat commitment, but when Michigan gave him the opportunity to head to Ann Arbor, it was something he and his 5,400 career rushing yards couldn't pass up.
Playing in the Vic House is really going to be my dream come true. And like I said before, I didn't expect myself to be at this level now, but now that I'm here, I'm going to take advantage of it. An offer from Michigan is not something that you can get daily. So now that I got it, I'm going to run with it.
2 other Detroit prospects inside the Scout.com top 10 in the state of Michigan are linebacker Royce Jenkins-Stone and cornerback Terry Richardson, part of your Division I state champion Detroit Cass Tech football team. At 6'1" and 215 pounds, Jenkins-Stone has terrific speed from the linebacker position, tallying 145 tackles and 5 sacks as a senior. Richardson possesses elite speed at corner, and after finishing his junior season with 12 interceptions, commanded early offers from all over the country. Richardson and Jenkins-Stone were all the way down in Austin, Texas during signing day as they prepared to play in the International Bowl for Team USA, but still found the time to send in their letters of intent.
I'm happy that I chose to be a Wolverine. I'm going to Michigan with some of my best friends, so hopefully it could turn out to be something good.
Decision to go to Michigan, I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to play at the next level, and especially since I grew up with my friends, James Ross, Terry Richardson, and Devin Funches, and we all playing at the next level. We didn't think it was possible, but God made a way and blessed us to have an opportunity to play at the next level of college football for the University of Michigan. I'm very, very excited to come to that facility. Yeah.
Also in attendance at the International Bowl in Austin, Texas were 2 other Michigan commitments, linebacker James Ross from Orchard Lake St. Mary's and tight end Devin Funches from Farmington Hills Harrison. Ross, who they call Biggs, finished his senior year with 151 tackles, 13.5 for loss, and 4 sacks. At 6 feet and a little over 200 pounds, he packs a punch and should fit in well in the physical Big Ten. Funches, although listed as a tight end, could very well end up playing wide receiver in Ann Arbor. At nearly 6'5" and 200 pounds, Funches displays the ball skills of a wide receiver with deceptive speed in those long strides. Funches finished his senior season with 21 catches for 452 yards and 5 TDs. Ross and Funches are definitely looking forward to their opportunity next year.
It was a long decision, and I chose a great place, and I'm very excited for my decision. I made it a long time ago, but it's even great now. Seeing that I'll be going to school with some of my best friends, and for us to finally get together, it was a dream. We played on the same little league team together and growing up together, and then going into high school, we didn't think it was possible to go to the same school, but now that it's happened, it's a dream come true.
Another Farmington Hills Harrison prospect to ink with the Wolverines is rush end commitment Mario Ojemudia. At 6'3" and 220 pounds, Ojemudia will slide to the edge after finishing his senior year with 80 tackles, 19 for loss, and 16 sacks. Ojemudia could play various roles in Michigan's defense as a stand-up linebacker and pass-rushing defensive end. With the departure of former Catholic Central defensive tackle and All-Big Ten performer Mike Martin, there's room for another Shamrock to head to Michigan on the defensive line, and that's 6'6", 280-pound Matt Godin. Godin played both ways for CC this past season and had his most productive year as a senior, tallying 70 tackles, 18 for loss, and 9 sacks. As a lifelong Michigan fan, this is a dream come true for Godin.
I was a fan when I was younger, and my dream was to be a big recruit and go to Michigan and be successful, and I worked hard and got there.
No one had a bigger senior season than Ann Arbor Pioneer running back Drake Johnson, who finished just 95 yards shy of the Michigan State rushing record with 2,805 yards and 37 touchdowns. Michigan kept an eye on his strong performance offered and gives the Wolverines a physical back as they transition to a pro-style offense. For more on the rest of the class of 2012 in Southeast Michigan, here's Lauren Plant and Tom Markowski.
All right, thank you so much, Kyle. Joined now by the Detroit News' Tom Markowski. Very happy and healthy, Tom Markowski. Glad to have you back.
It's great to be back, healthy and ready to go.
That's absolutely. A lot of stuff going on, as you just saw. Brady Hoke, the head coach of Michigan, making a lot of inroads with our gridiron greats, doing great in the living room. Obviously, some of those commits were Rich Rod commits, but Hoke held on to them. Talk about the fact that he can just swoop in at the last minute. I mean, Dennis Norfleet is going to don the maize and blue.
Well, that was a big surprise, I think, by everybody's part. Dennis was saying, I'm Cincinnati, and he would have been a good fit for Cincinnati. But Michigan called the night before, and Dennis jumped at it. He told me, he went to Michigan a number of times, his sophomore year, his junior year, his senior year, and never really got looked at by Michigan. Time comes, the night before, Michigan had a scholarship open, boom, he jumps at it, and who knows? I know he's a small guy, but who knows? He could be an impact player, kick returner, slot receiver, you never know.
Absolutely, he's very versatile, and obviously Michigan did wonderful. On the flip side, their counterparts, Michigan State, they did great as well. I love the game of Farmington Hills Harrison wide receiver Aaron Burbridge. I think he is the next Keyshawn Martin, and obviously a very underrated linebacker in Jamal Lyles of Southfield Lathrop. He's going to make an impact.
I think both those kids are going to make impacts, and also Monty Medeiros, who they just recently signed Michigan State. The receiving core, they needed them. They graduated 3 great receivers as seniors. I think Aaron Burbridge can come in and be the player next year in the receiving core and maybe be the best player out of this class, at least as a freshman.
Absolutely. On the offensive balls where they needed help, defensively they're looking real good. All right. Overall, a lot of programs throughout not just Michigan, but throughout the country going to take advantage of our local superstars. Who do you feel in your mind has the biggest upside? Who's the Will Golson of this class, and maybe who's the sleeper?
Well, I think Danny O'Brien, a player out of Flint Powers, signed with Tennessee. He turned down Alabama and a number of other schools. On the defensive side, he can make an impact right away. Real happy down in Knoxville. And Drake Johnson out of Ann Arbor Pioneer could make an impact for Michigan. I think he's a sleeper. Didn't get looked at by too many schools. He's real happy to be in Ann Arbor.
Absolutely. A track star and boy, with a chip on your shoulder. Look out, Drake Johnson. Well, we've got a great O-Team with Markowski loaded up for you. You can find it on our website, statechamps.tv. We also put it on the Facebook page. What are we talking about?
We'll talk a little bit about dirty recruiting, a couple coaching changes that are new, and also the death of Bob LaPointe, the former high school coach at Belleville and Divine Child.
All right, well, go check it out at our website, statechamps.tv. All right, coming up next, Trenton and Detroit Catholic Central get it going on the ice. It's our main event next on State Champs. Are you serious about reaching your athletic goals? Then come to the Varsity Shop Training Center. The Varsity Shop Training Center is a premier sports training and instruction facility for athletes of all ages and abilities. Our full-time certified strength and conditioning staff can focus on all aspects of athletic development. Reach your full potential and log on to varsityshoptrainingcenter.com or call 248-874-4920 and ask for the State Champs Varsity Club member discount. Do you want a vehicle that is safe, rugged, but won't break your bank? This 2004 Eddie Bauer Edition 4x4 Ford Explorer is awesome. It's all leather, heated seats, certified just one owner. Yes, you can check the Carfax. It's clean. Just $67.97. Show your student ID and get another $100 off. Call 877-561-5760 today or stop by Suburban Ford of Sterling Heights on Van Dyke. Make the choice. From the Kennedy Ice Arena in Trenton, welcome back to State Champs. Well, this is the first season that the Trenton Trojans are competing in the Michigan Independent Hockey League. Now, Detroit Catholic Central and Trenton have always been strong rivals, but now they're actually competing for the same league title. Currently, CC sits atop the standings with a 7-point advantage over third place Trenton. But back on January 7th, it was the Trojans in CC's home who came away with a convincing 5-1 win. Both teams with a ton to play for in this week's Suburban Collection main event.
Play hard and continue to compete out there. Don't back down. Don't give in. Give everything you got. Just go out there and have fun out there.
Trenton looking to sweep the season series against CC for the first time since 1996. Easier said than done. Catholic Central, year in and year out, one of the favorites to win the state title. We begin early in the first. Great pass by the junior Charlie Green. Better shot by the sophomore Matt Sharisho. 6th goal on the campaign. Shamrocks led 1-0 after the first.
Let's go Trenton! Let's go Trenton!
Early in the third, the Trenton train began to get on track. This is what you call a breakaway. The sophomore Andrew Sawyer going the other way, finishing it off by laying out. Beautiful finish. We were tied at 1. Didn't take long for the Shamrocks to snatch back the lead. On the power play, Hockey Player of the Year nominee Nolan Glukowski's shot won't go, but the senior Pat Halash stuffs it by another Player of the Year nominee Blake Watala. 11th goal for Halash. Shamrocks back up 2-1. Trenton does not despair. 2:14 left to go in the game. This is how you pass the puck. Tape to tape from Joey Russo to Corey Seychel. Somehow it flips and gets behind Mocha. Corey's team leading 11th on the season. We were deadlocked at 2 as we headed into overtime.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
Trenton's Let's Make a Deal fans feeling it as we go early in the extra session. Out of the scrum, puck is picked up by Brad Teska, and the junior buries the game winner. First high school hockey goal of his career. Now that's drama. 3-2 the final. Trenton now within striking distance of the top spot in the MIHL. Teska gets the game puck, and along with that, our Suburban Collection prime time performer.
It feels great. I can't explain the feeling. It's just amazing. I don't know what I can say. I'm in shock.
The main event is powered by the Suburban Collection. Make the choice. All right, that's it for this week. Now, before we go, I want to dedicate this show to my good friend, Damani Robinson, who passed away this week. 36 years old. He left us far too soon. Damani and I worked together in the Detroit Tigers and the Detroit Lions scoreboard room, and he was a great friend and a big fan of state champs. I think I can speak for all of Damani's friends that, Damani, you truly are really going to be missed. Now, if you want to submit a story idea or a game that we should cover here on State Champs, send us an email, idea@statechamps.tv. Of course, you can catch the entire show at our website, statechamps.tv. That's it for this week. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week right here on State Champs. State Champs is brought to you by Lawrence Technological University, where possible is everything. The Varsity Shop Training Center, Oakland County's premier sports training and instructional facility. The Suburban Collection, make the choice. And Metro PCS, wireless for all.